everyone. I hope you're having a great time at ESA in Portland. I'm sorry I can't be there with you. Some family health stuff came up, but I'm only recording this once in solidarity with the speakers. And so if I screw up, it'll be just like I'm there. I am a Rangeland Management Specialist from the Jornada Experimental Range, which is in the northern Chihuahuan Desert and southern New Mexico. We conduct rangeland research on arid and semi-arid rangelands across the world. One of the things that we work on is beef production from rangeland, which can be quite a dilemma. We know it provides essential livelihoods and cultural identities, but it can use a lot of water and provide and create a lot of greenhouse gas emissions. We also see people grazing for biodiversity and soil carbon, so it can get confusing. But we're coming from this from the perspective that grazing really is everywhere, and we're looking for optimal solutions for people and the planet. So the blue shows cows in the US. However, there's a lot of challenges in the US Southwest for beef production from rangelands. We have a warming and drying climate. We have inherent patchiness of vegetation, and it becomes even more perplexing due to that warming and drying climate. We also have in the Jornada Basin a charismatic megafauna that was introduced in the 1960s for hunting. So oryx is a type of antelope that's eating a lot of the forage and exposing soils to wind erosion. One potential solution that we're seeing worldwide is heritage cattle. So these are cattle with little artificial selection, long history in a specific locale. They tend to have high foraging plasticity, low maintenance requirements, and a lower impact on the environment. We're looking at Raramuri Criollo as our old cattle breed that's had a lot of time in Mexico. We found that they have a lot of heat tolerance, favorable mothering behaviors, and that they graze far away from watering points for fewer use hotspots. We're also teaching these old cattle new tricks with precision ranching. So helping ranchers, we're building a system to help ranchers know where it rained, how much water is in each trough, where all the cattle are in real time. And we're building virtual fencing systems to get cattle to the right place at the right time to eat forage that's either undesirable from conservation perspectives or maybe desirable for conservation perspectives for restoration. So helping us deal with that patchiness and the challenging patchiness. So in this way, we're building techno ranches across the US Southwest, where we're understanding the fabric of what's happening there. Not to be confused with this game called Techno Ranch, which is a ranch simulator where they're playing techno music. So these are our ranches where we're conducting research. They're managed by a lot of our partners. So we're conducting research on the outcomes of criollo and precision ranching together at 5 places across the Southwest. And we're using an indicator system based on 6 attributes of sustainability. Those are those big pie pieces in there, and then 17 indicators of the status of those attributes. It's really nicely dovetails with frameworks for adaptive capacity. We also use benchmarks for our indicator system. So this shows an example of where, so we identify desired conditions for the ranch for the 17 indicators and then see how often the ranch meets those benchmarks. The results I'm going to show are preliminary insofar as we've only been at this for a few years. We've been studying criollo for a while, but really understanding these outcomes is much more preliminary. But I'll share a few preliminary results. So in the environmental realm, looking at biotic integrity, we're finding that criollo and precision together can maybe help us conserve perennial grasses that we care about, potentially help with oryx distribution, because the cattle and the oryx interactions make oryx stay away from desirable forage. But we have questions about how this all affects other wildlife. We have the hypothesis that using virtual fence to follow the green forage can minimize enteric methane, but we still have to study this in a lot of different conditions. Looking in the more financial realm, we see that criollo actually consume less supplemental feed while still maintaining their body condition scores as well as conventional cattle. And so this can help with total factor productivity. And in the social realm, our producer community is growing strong, and it's through learning together. But we still have questions about perceptions of neighboring ranches for ranchers, for these old cattle, and the new tricks. And with that, I'm sure you'd like to get back to your neighbors at ESA. And if you have any questions or comments, please contact me at Sheri Spiegal at USDA.gov. Again, sorry I couldn't be with you, but I look forward to seeing you next year. And thank you very much.